Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, due to statements reported by media outlets over the former Councilman Schaefer's Twitter statements, I'd like to discuss possibility of us creating a statement in response to that. Could start with you, Billy. And I know we had a little bit of conversation today regarding that, and I guess my opinion with for even bringing it up is because it was reported as a former council person. I mean, in my opinion, Travis Schaefer is Travis Schaefer, and he made his statements, and those are his beliefs. If you want, I can read the statement that.
Well, so that's more or less a draft of a statement. I'm not here to play the politics of the thing. If council decides that it wants to make a statement similar to that, certainly it could. If council wants to remain silent, it could do that as well.
If we wanted to make a statement, it's something we would need to have a motion, a second, vote on that, just
Sure.
like anything else, basically. Sure. I guess I'd like to hear some opinions from anyone else on council.
At this point, seeing that it's already been out in the Northwest Signal and and other outlets, I mean, the statement that we make would be certainly against his comments, but is it necessary? I don't know, at this point.
Right. That's obviously the question if it's actually necessary or not.
I say we do nothing. Just keep ourselves nose clean. Travis did what he did, and he did it to himself.
Is that a motion?
Yes, I make a motion, we do nothing.
I second it.
Okay. Any other questions or comments regarding this? Is that a comment?
I just want to make sure that in this case, silence is not consent. I understand our issue that he's no longer councilman. I understand that. At the same time, most of the headlines still read former council person. So do we sit here and do nothing, or do we say that we don't agree with what he said and give ourselves a chance to promote diversity and use this as a chance for that?
I understand what you're saying. I just would almost rather see it go away at this point.
Okay.
I don't know that.
I'm just showing the other side of it, you know what I mean? So.
Right. I don't know.
You know,
I'm with Jeff. I think if you don't say anything, it just seems like you're. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
If you
we
don't
say
anything, then
nothing.
You're just saying it's okay. So.
I'm saying it could be perceived like that, right?
Right.
And I see your point too.
Sure.
I do, that he's a former council person, he's not council person anymore. He's been gone just a month, so.
I don't know what the answer is, but in general, they're just, I mean, everyone's entitled to their own personal opinion, but in general, there's just too much, I don't mean here, but too much negative publicity everywhere, too much negative talks, the state level, at the federal level, and it doesn't seem to make any difference what political party you're in. There's just too much negative, and I guess I just like to see people focus more on the positive, and I don't know if we need to do anything or not, but let's hope that something else doesn't happen that brings this back to light again. But I'm not saying we need to do anything, but it's just, I think we need to start focusing more on the positive stuff and not always the negative. We can always disagree, but we got to focus more on the positive stuff.
Any other comments? Hearing none. Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M.
No.
Ken,
Yes.
Ross,
No.
Jeff C.
Yes.
Lori,
Yes.
Dan,
No.
Joe.
Yes.
It's 4-3. Pass 4-3.
Just want to make sure. Okay. Moving on to the rest of the agenda tonight. Approval of minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes shall stand approved. November 18th, 2019, regular council meeting minutes, and November 8th, 2019, revised special council meeting minutes. They will stand approved. Item D, any citizen communication?
Don't all rush at once.
Okay, moving on to item E, reports from council committees. The Finance and Budget Committee did not meet on November 25th, 2019 due to lack of agenda items. And number 2 is Safety and Human Resource Committee met on November 25th, 2019. Dan?
Yeah, at that time, we did review the fire department fee schedule, including the possibility of fees for crashes, but that issue was tabled until the committee's January 27th meeting, and then discussed a SAFER grant for new firefighters and recommended an informational packet be presented to City Council, and that this be added to the December 16th agenda. In other words, I think council members have received that packet to look over, and then that can be brought up for discussion at our next regular meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Okay, item E3 is Technology and Communications Committee did not meet on December 2nd, 2019 due to lack of agenda items. Okay, moving into item G, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. G1 is ordinance number 088-19, an ordinance establishing a new position classification pay plan for employees of the City of Napoleon, Ohio for the year 2020, repealing ordinance number 075-18 and declaring an emergency. Get a motion?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. Joel?
Thank you, Council President. This ordinance is the pay ordinance, and this pay ordinance shows the wage increases of 2.25% for all of the non-bargaining positions. As you see in your packet, these are the wages for all of the positions.
Thank you.
And I don't have any other comments, sorry.
Have any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M. Bound.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item G2, resolution number 089-19, a resolution appointing Mayor Jason Mazel and Councilman Dan Baer to represent the city of Napoleon, Ohio as members of the Board of Directors of the Community Improvement Corporation of Henry County, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I don't think we need any explanation on this. Have any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bound.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item G3 is resolution number 090-19, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute any and all documents necessary to enter into a programmatic agreement with the Ohio Historic Preservation Office for the administration of programs using HUD allocated funds and declaring an emergency. Have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Joel?
Thank you, Council President. The last agreement that we had was with the Ohio Historic Preservation Office was 5 years ago. This is more or less a renewal of that, and we enter into these agreements to make sure that we stay in compliance with, we just have to stay in compliance with any HUD funds that are used. We do use HUD funds for the chip and chiz programs, and I believe that, that's a subset of HUD called the Home Fund program. So chip and chiz, those grants are administered by the Maumee Valley Planning Organization on our behalf. So you know, they monitor it and they make sure that we're in compliance, and I believe Chris Petticord works with them on disbursements.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bound.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, item G4 is resolution number 091-19, a resolution amending resolution number 080-18, a resolution authorizing expenditures of funds in excess of $25,000 in and for the year 2019 as it relates to reoccurring costs associated with the operation of the city for payment and expenses and for purchases associated with vendors utilized by multiple departments within the city, elimination of necessity of competitive bidding in and for the year 2019 as it relates to certain transactions, and declaring an emergency. You have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Joel?
Thank you. This is just the ordinance to be amended on 8018 to add BHM CPA Group and Terex Utilities for the purchase of the line truck, and BHM was for,
Auditing services.
so, that was it, just to make sure that, more of a cleanup item than anything, to make sure that this ordinance is amended and we're in compliance with our codified ordinances.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bound.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, item G5 is ordinance number 092-19, an ordinance allowing supplementals to the annual appropriation measure up to $25,000 between the quarterly budget adjustments by the city finance director pursuant to ORC section 5705.40, commencing the fiscal year 2020 on an as-needed basis and declaring an emergency. Do you have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Kelly?
Thank you. In September of 2019, council approved the ordinance for the supplementals up to $25,000 and transfer of appropriation between personnel and other and personnel. These are just for the calendar year 2020, but then it's stated that it'll stay in effect if you guys approve it until it's terminated or changed. This allows us to be in compliance with our codified ordinances that state we can't make any appropriations overdrawn. And sometimes in between the quarterly budget adjustments, we need to make an adjustment if they got a bill that was over or under or something. Joel and I would be able to sign off on it, and then it would come to you at the next council meeting, and you guys could approve it, and/or it could be informational only. This is to protect us, so if the auditors look at that point in time, there's none of the accounts are in the negative.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments?
If you agree to it, finance director, city manager agree to it, and the check goes out, and it comes to council, and council doesn't agree with it, what happens?
I mean, before I started, it was happening, but the accounts were going in the red.
Okay.
And so then it was cleaned up on the quarterly adjustment, so
Okay.
this is just a mechanism to make sure it's complying with the auditing practices, and we wouldn't approve anything that we didn't know that you guys were wanting,
Okay.
or that it was a bill that was standard.
Perfect. Thank you.
And this is under $25,000.
Correct.
Right.
And we could, as soon as we do one, we could notify you too before the next council meeting, so you would have it, but then you could you discuss it at the next council meeting if you wanted to, so you could see it and stop it right away, but him and I won't sign off on anything that would put you guys in a bind.
Can I suggest that you do the first couple, just to put them biased, just so we're comfortable with it?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what we do. It's just, we trust you, just here's how the process works, so everybody's like, oh, that's what that rule means. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Rox, please call the roll.
Duffel?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeffy?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, item G6 is ordinance number 093-19, an ordinance allowing the transfer of appropriations from the personal line items to other line items and from other line items to the personal line items in any funds up to $25,000 between the quarterly budget adjustments by the city finance director pursuant to ORC section 5705.40, commencing the fiscal year 2020 on an as-needed basis and declaring an emergency. Have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. Kelly?
Thank you. 5, 6, and 7, the ordinances all tie together. Again, we hope not to have to use them, but it's just a mechanism in case we do. Currently, the finance director, and then Joel signs off on it, we can transfer between personnel to personnel or other to other. This just allows us if there was a vacancy and they're not going to refill it, but they needed it somewhere else, we could transfer it from personnel to other or other to personnel. Again, the same thing would apply, that you guys would be able to see it. And
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Duffel?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Same rules apply, with, the first few goes at this. We'll make sure everybody's aware. Email best?
Whatever complies.
Okay. And like Kelly said in the last one, it's been happening, and actually, it was happening prior to Kelly starting, and some of the accounts were actually going negative, which is against the codified ordinances. Now, they were reconciled after the fact in the
quarterly adjustment.
quarterly budget adjustments, but that's just, the way I see it is more of a cleanup item,
Right.
and making sure that we're compliant with the ordinances, and this is one of the ways to fix that.
Thank you. wonder what number 7's like here. Ordinance number 094-19, an ordinance allowing the transfer of certain fund balances from respective funds to other funds per section 5705.14 ORC up to $25,000 between the quarterly budget adjustments by the city finance director pursuant to ORC section 5705.14, commencing the fiscal year 2020 on an as-needed basis and declaring an emergency. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Kelly?
This is the third piece of it, so if there needs to be funds, so that the actual fund, the dollars don't go negative. Again, we hope we wouldn't have to use it, but if we needed to, it would be there.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeffy?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H, second reads of ordinances and resolutions. H1 is ordinance number 078-18, an ordinance amending a certain section of Chapter 375 of the City of Napoleon, Ohio Codified Ordinances, specifically Section 375.03E, and repealing certain section of Chapter 505 and Chapter 549 of the City of Napoleon Codified Ordinances, specifically Sections 50511, 50515, 54908, and 549.09, relating to the ownership, possession, purchase, other acquisition, transport, storage, carrying, sale, other transfer, manufacture, taxation, keeping, and reporting of loss or theft of firearms, their components, and their ammunition, and declaring an emergency. No,
I'll make a
I'm not
motion.
going to read it again. Jeff, you
I made a motion.
Billy?
Absolutely. There have been no changes to this ordinance. Assuming it is approved on this reading, it'll go to third reading mid-December. And assuming that it is then passed on third read, it'll take effect immediately. There is an emergency clause in there, so we will meet the deadline, which is the end of December, to come into compliance with that statute, and thereby avoid any risk of litigation. So.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeffy?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H2, ordinance number 079-19, an ordinance amending the allocation of funds as found in section 193.11 and 194.013 of the codified ordinances of the City of Napoleon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Council President. This is for the allocation of funds for 2020. This ordinance shows a 65-35 split between general fund operating and capital funds. And then it shows in 2021, going back to 62-38.
All right. Just have a question on, just if there's a clarification needed or not. It's when it says a section 193.11 and 194.013, is that right with the zero in there?
I believe it is.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that first when I read it, I was thinking I was adding something there, but,
That's correct.
okay. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeffy?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H3, Resolution number 080-19, a resolution authorizing the expenditure of funds and authorizing a department director to take bids on certain projects, services, equipment, materials, and supplies, without the requirement for additional legislation to do so in the year 2020, and declaring an emergency. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Joel?
Thank you. This is the annual master bid ordinance, second read. No changes have been made since the last time we discussed. Take any questions.
Okay. Hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, item H4, resolution 081-19, a resolution authorizing expenditure of funds in excess of $25,000 in and for the year 2020 as it relates to reoccurring costs associated with the operation of the city, for payment of expenses, and for purchases associated with vendors utilized by multiple departments within the city. Elimination of necessity of competitive bidding in and for the year 2020 as it relates to certain transactions, and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Joel?
Thank you. This is the master vendor list ordinance, and you'll see in the exhibits, like we discussed last time, these are just the vendors that we do business with on an annual basis for specific items, and nothing's changed since our last meeting, so take any questions.
These are items that are over 25,000 between the multiple departments that are exempt from the bidding.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H5, ordinance number 082-19, an ordinance establishing the appropriation measure budget of the City of Napoleon, Ohio for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020, listed in Exhibit A, and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Hey, Joel?
Okay, thank you. This is for the annual budget. One question, or one item that was corrected on this had to do with the water fund in the note, as you see on the screen. There was a $76,000 pay down, but that also brought down the principal payment of the note down to $2.352 million, down from 2.428, so $76,000 went towards the principal payment. That was the only change. One question that we had is, do you want all of the summary sheets, or is the information, the updates that we gave you from the last time enough? And if I will recommend, if you do want all of the forms changed out, that we recommend that you bring in the thumb drive that you have. That way we can take everything off of that and plug all the, with all the changes that we had from the budget hearings and from the and this, including this change, into one a thumb drive for everybody, if that's easiest. If you want to do it that way, or we can provide the.
We could print the account summaries if that's what you would like, and then try to insert them in your packets. I don't know what you did with your packets.
Do we need to? Do they need to be there?
Not if you guys don't want them. We could put them on the jump drive, or we could put them out on the share drive and give you a link to the folder.
That's fine and dandy with me.
Right.
Okay.
But we just want to make sure if you wanted a complete pack.
Yeah, and if somebody wants the hard copies, we can do the hard copies. If somebody's fine with doing the shared drive, we can do it that way, however you want the information, as long as we got it the way you guys want it. So it could individually, if you have we'll do a shared drive with a link. If somebody wants to bring in the thumb drive, we'll change out the thumb drive. If somebody wants to bring in their hard copies, we can print off all the separate summary sheets and plug them in separately. But the summary sheets will include the changes in the pay ordinance, and the other additional items that we had talked about during the budget hearing, so.
It's all the changes from the 8th and 9th. And this is actually
You
a
can let either
savings.
one of us know, and we'll accommodate.
And this is actually a savings to the 519 fund. The 76,000 was appropriated in there, but because we're getting less back from the note, that's the actual pay down, so we don't need it again.
Okay.
So that's the change. It just puts it back in the fund. It's not an additional expense.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H6, resolution number 083-19, a resolution authorizing the finance director to transfer certain fund balances from respective funds to other funds per section 5705.14 ORC on an as-needed basis in fiscal year 2020, listed in Exhibit A, and declaring an emergency. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Kelly? Joel?
This is the companion legislation for the budget ordinance. And these are the yearly transfers for the annual budget, and that's all I have to say about it, unless anybody has questions.
Okay. Hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H7, resolution number 086-19, a resolution extending the provisions contained in ordinance number 021-18, wherein council impose a temporary reduction and/or temporary elimination of certain residential building permit fees and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, Joel?
Thank you. Just a second read on the item that we had discussed last time. This has to do with the reduction in fees for new residential construction, and take any questions.
Any questions? Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, moving on to item H8 is ordinance number 087-19, and ordinance portioning the expense incurred, including wages, salaries, and fringe benefits of the mayor, council, and various other departments of the city of Napoleon, which are not otherwise directly charged to special and/or capital projects among various accounts effective January 1st, 2020, amending ordinance number 104-09 and declaring an emergency.
Motion.
Second.
Joel?
Thank you, Council President. This ordinance is an amendment to one that was passed 10 years ago. I believe it was 2009. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll down to it. And what it does is it changes the allocation of funds for reimbursements for the IT department, as we discussed this in the budget hearings. We're looking to allocate more funds, putting more effort into the water fund and sewer fund because of the amount of IT and well, essentially IT work that occurs at the water plants and wastewater plants. And that would be less from the general fund too. So But the reasoning being that, everything in these treatment plants are now electronic. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll quote the former water plant superintendent, Scott Hoover, saying that you really have to be an IT person to run these plants now. And it's much more complicated with as simpler as things seem in the monitoring of dosages of different chemicals and things. It's running the equipment and learning how to use the software and the programming and everything else that's becoming more of more technical. So.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, moving on to item I, third reads of ordinances and resolutions. I-1 is ordinance number 075-19, an ordinance approving the execution of an efficiency smart schedule with American Municipal Power Incorporated and declaring an emergency. Have a motion?
Move.
Joel?
All right, final read on the renewing the contract with Efficiency Smart. I shouldn't say renewing the contract. It's a new form of the contract that includes a demand charge focus and as well as the regular energy usage focus. So it's a good program. We're starting to see at AMP. We're starting to see more and more communities sign back onto Efficiency Smart using the demand focus side. And it's a good sign, especially for Efficiency Smart. It's a really good program. Obviously, Councilman Commodore, you see it
Every day.
direct benefit from it every day from the local businesses and people that use it. I guess the last thing I can say about it is that I always say it's a really good economic development tool and job retention tool for the city. I mean, this is one thing that we have to offer that nobody else can offer. So it's a really good piece in that. It's good to see other people signing on to the and buying into the demand charge piece of it, because it just shows that they're adapting to what the needs of the communities are, and that is trying to help drive down our transmission and capacity costs. So
is Efficiency Smart sending somebody here to help businesses? Because
they do. Mm-hmm.
I had a church today ask me about this.
Yep. Yeah,
I think
they
they
do.
want to change their 8-foot lights out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, well, wait until after the first year.
Yep.
There'll be more information, so.
Yep, could be anybody.
I'll get with you later and give you the church name here in town, and,
Okay.
all right?
Yep. They probably have somebody come through here at least twice a month.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever met Joey Boston or seen her in
Yeah.
the store, but yep, she comes through maybe even more often than that.
Okay.
One of the things that I'm going to have them focus on is downtown and and some of the smaller businesses. I think there's been a very over the past 9 years, it's been a lot of focus on large users, but I think it's time that the smaller users get a little more of the attention, and they're aware of it. They have programs out there for it. So just let me know.
All right.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeffy.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. I think that is passed on third read. Okay, moving on to item I-2 is ordinance number 076-19, an ordinance amending chapter 955.10 of the codified ordinances of the city of Napoleon, Ohio regarding current shelter house community center rental rates. Have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Joel?
Thank you, Council President. Third and final read of the shelter house rental fees changes, and this was recommended by the board and committee, and take any questions.
So if this passes, it takes 30 days, so as long as you sign up before the end of the year, it's still the current rate,
Correct.
and then the new rate kicks in January the 2nd, 30 days.
Is that correct?
30 days from
Passage?
today,
Today.
so today's the 2nd.
So January the 2nd. So basically
Count 30
the
days,
new
I'm not
year
sure if
from
it's
now.
exactly 30 days, but I'd have to get a calendar out and count the days, but yeah.
Well, I'm assuming we're not going to open the first.
No,
Not open the first.
Right. So,
yeah, effectively, I think it would be the 2nd.
okay. Perfect.
People have been signing up today.
A lot of people signing up today.
Any other questions or comments?
Looks like tax day in the parking lot.
Yeah, I went by today, and I thought, what the heck is going on here?
Signing up for their shelter house rental.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay, and that passed on third read. Okay, moving on to item J. Good of the city. J1 is discussion or action, fourth quarter budget adjustments, supplementals. Can I have a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation?
So moved.
Second.
Anything to discuss on this?
No, I just want to point out these will stay open until we close out the year. The next 1, 2, and 3.
All right. Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. And J2 is fourth quarter budget adjustments for transfer appropriations and to direct the law director to draft legislation. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. And J3 is fourth quarter budget adjustments, transfer of funds, and direct the law director to draft legislation.
So moved.
Second.
Ken got it.
Any questions, comments? Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Item J4 is rolling of note issue for the water treatment plant and direct the law director to draft legislation. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, anything on this?
The current note is $2,428,000. We're going to roll the note for $2,352,000, paying down the $76,000 that was on the screen. And the estimated sale date for the note will be February 11th. And we'll be able to go through the 3 reads with the last read on January 20th.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff Steve?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Item J5 is accept donation to the fire department.
And we have the donations on the screen. Stanley J. Peggy Joe Herman, and then memorial for Norman Dravis. Both of them are. Oh, sorry, I missed one. Bunch of them are. So, what's the total here, Chief? Let us do that.
$200.
200.
Good job, Jeff Myers.
They came in right at the very last minute before the last meeting when we gave them in, so they came for the memorial of Mr. Graves.
You have any reasons you don't want to accept these for any?
No.
Sure, okay. All right. You have a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Christie.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes. Okay, it's been approved. All right, we'll go around the table here. Kelly, would you like to start?
Sure. Can you put that up on the screen?
Yes.
The under 25. We actually have one of the supplementals under 25,000 that we did the other day. So you can see the format and let us know if you
Is this,
want any changes. No.
this isn't it?
Looks like this.
No, I don't have that.
I can pass it around. One was for the Economic Development Fund. It was $236.42. We had to use this money to pay for a CAUV that was unexpected. This is to pay for the CIC, the fourth quarter, just the exact amount that they're supposed to get. But and then for the 310, the road refund, we had another payment from the sale of property. It was $16,617.53 that goes back to the state, and we received the money from the sale of property. So if you want something changed for the format, or if you want to see more information or less information,
Okay.
that would be what it would look like, unless you guys want something changed.
Thank you, Kelly.
Yep,
You're welcome.
thank you very much.
And here's the rotary. It goes with it.
So we don't need any action or anything, just kind of giving us an example of what it's going to look like.
That was one that we did on the 19th, so if you want to approve them going forward, we can put them on under the good of the city, or we can, as a motion, for you guys to approve them. Or we can send them right away, and you can let us know.
Should they go on, can we approve them now and get it over
Let's
with,
do-
or do we need to put
Let's
them
do
on?
good of the city for 2 or 3 times, and then we'll be
Okay.
good, and then
Yeah.
they should be fine after that.
Okay.
That work?
Yep.
It's okay with everybody?
Sounds good.
Just to give us a nice one, Kelly, about it.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
I have nothing.
Nothing for me.
Okay,
Nothing.
wow. All right. Skip me for now. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Kelly, I think when you first started, we realized that in December, you'll be the second longest tenured finance director I've worked with. So, thanks for being here, thanks for still being here.
Thanks for having me.
The canal basin by the Lions Recycling Center, is that us? There's potholes
is.
there that are,
We own it.
right.
We have an agreement, I believe, with the commissioners. I'd have to, yeah, I'd have
Can
to
we look
and
at
see what that
fixing those
agreement looks
potholes?
like.
the-
Yep.
The process?
Yep.
I know it's,
I'm pretty
not a
sure.
good time to fix
no,
them,
I'm pretty
but-
sure that
I'm hearing they're
Jeff,
big.
I don't.
do you remember
I
if we took care of that or if the commissioners took care of it?
I think we paved that one time. Then I thought something was said from
That-
now on,
If they're gonna use it, they gotta
then
do
they were
something
gonna
with
take
it.
take care of it.
We look at that, just to
Yeah.
figure out.
Yeah.
Thank you. Was approached about the possibility of putting a courtesy line in at the yard waste.
Pardon?
People getting home and putting their yard waste, do we need a street light out around that, in that area?
Courtesy light in the yard waste.
Around the yard waste site?
Around it or in
Well,
it?
in it, so people
In it.
can, is that something we will look at doing?
Right.
Do we not want to do that?
I was thinking that we put a, like dusk to dawn thing on there. Yeah, so,
We did, I don't think we did. I think we took
No,
it
we
out.
didn't because people get home late and they still want to, you
Yeah.
may have bad
People
people
that
who
do
leave
shift
before.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I remember discussing it, but I think we should check that
I'm
first.
Almost positive we pulled the dusk and dawn part
Right,
out.
we
now.
did,
hope
I'm
so.
pretty sure we
Okay, good.
did, yeah. Because I've been out there late, I know. You know, the late fall, it seems like, I just didn't know if there's a way to, how,
Yeah, we gotta take a look at where the electric comes in at.
Right.
And how we can.
best we use it, if there's a good
best
way
get
to
the light
put
out there
it
and
without
what it would
causing
what it
more
would take to
issues.
do that.
We don't want to
Yeah.
put a pole in the middle and have it get hit every other day either.
No, not in the middle.
So,
Definitely not in the middle. It'd probably be around one of the sides, probably on the side where you dump the brush.
so
Right
just
up,
take a look and,
right on the edge
if
of
it's
the-
permissible,
Mm-hmm.
and then if it is,
Slice it into the solar.
That's what I was just gonna say,
Well-
can you just plug it in there?
If only it were that easy.
we just
Yeah,
look at it.
yeah.
Dan, you talked earlier about being positive, and we'll be positive because lots of good stuff's going on in the city right now. The Rotary Shelter House is having Santa Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Christmas House is going on at St. Augustine Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's a cookie walk at St. Paul, I think, on Sunday. There's a cookie walk someplace else on Saturday. Christmas parade, all kinds of good stuff going on. So lots of positive stuff that make small town Napoleon a great place to celebrate Christmas. Want to appoint Amy Baines to the Civil Service Commission, starting basically immediately because they have a meeting tomorrow. You want to approve that? You don't have to. It's been tradition that council does.
Well, let's do it. Someone like to make a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bem.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeff C.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Then also reappoint Mike St. Holtz, Ryan Miller, and John Nepley to the Parks and Rec Committee.
Want to make a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff M.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Jeff C.
Yes.
Lori.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Chief Mack, when is Luke coming to council?
I was thinking like, I didn't get it in time for this council meeting, but I was thinking maybe next one,
Cool.
if that would be okay.
Fine by me.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're there, you swear in a dog?
I'm researching that. Like, just wearing a dog?
I don't know. Raise your right paw,
They have
repeat after
badges. They have
me.
badges.
Bark 3 times, I don't know. It'd just be nice if we could just meet Luke, yeah. Chief O'Brien, do we have a date for the pancake breakfast?
I don't have a date yet.
Okay.
It's usually the second Sunday in February.
Okay,
So it's usually the Sunday after Super Bowl Sunday.
perfect. That's all I had, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Jeff?
Just to say what the mayor said about Saturday, the Christmas parade Saturday at 4 o'clock. Starts at the fairgrounds, sponsored by Napoleon Alive. And if you can't make it to the fairgrounds for the parade, they'll have hot chocolate and cookies uptown at the courthouse at the Christmas tree lighting. So if you can make that, that'd be great. It's probably about 4:30 after the parade. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, Ken?
Christmas lights all look good all around town. They'll look a lot better when the snow falls.
Jeez. Dan?
I guess that means something's going to happen between now and the next council meeting. Right?
Anything
all I-
else? Well, that's good.
Nothing here.
Ross? No? Billy?
Nothing tonight?
Joel?
I do have a couple of things, sticking to the positives. I think that's a good thing to do. I think everybody has in front of them an article from the OWEA magazine. Mike Winter at the wastewater treatment plant received an award. This is not they don't just hand these things out. I mean, this is a pretty significant award and recognition for a staff member, and it's just wanted to make sure that he's recognized that he came up with something that all on his own. I think it's the Ingenuity Award for crafting what they're referring to as the muckraker. It just helps create more surface area and decreases the drying time for wastewater treatment sludge. So in the wastewater world, it's pretty big deal.
Great.
The other thing is Hoops for Heroes is coming up. I believe everybody got the notice on that. It's not yet. I don't know if there was an official notice that went out, but I believe they're holding it on December 18th. It'll be at the high school, and this year it's going to be sponsored by the police and fire unions. And I don't know, Chiefs, am I missing anything on that?
No, we're waiting for definite confirmation from the schools, but that is the tentative date.
Okay.
What time's
That's
tip?
what we're all planning on.
What time's tip?
6. I think it's 6. I'll get you.
6. It was on the previous times, because remember, I think it was at one point it was tip-off was on a Monday, right? And that's why
We're waiting for the school permit to.
we all had to show up early and then leave real quick.
Yeah.
The 18th.
Yeah. So it'll be December 18th, and yeah.
All the money that'll be raised
Yes, that's
will
right.
be for Monica Nye, which is Nick Nye works at the LEPC. It'd be his wife. She's been battling breast cancer for some time. It was the fire department's year to choose. And so I know that Officer Rubio is working on a press release to kind of get a little bit more information out about it as well prior to it. So all the money that'll be raised will go to the Nye family.
Thank you.
Last thing I have is we did get the application in for the RP3 designation through APPA. It's looking like a favorable application in for that. And there's also recognition through APPA for a smart electric provider. I'm going to see if we can qualify for that as well. So hopefully we hear something. Probably won't hear anything until maybe March, April timeframe on the RP3 designation. And that's all I have.
Great. No executive sessions?
Nope.
Well, hold on,
Let's-
hold on.
I'll
you're
ruin
fast.
that.
Hold on, because
Yeah.
Joe's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I thought I'd wait for you guys and save the best for last. But before I say that, I do want to add on to with like the positive things that are going on in Napoleon. And whose idea was it to do the press release about Luke? And it was Joel. That was awesome. It was nice to actually come in here and watch how all that's being recorded and the questions and everything. And Chief Mack did a great job of being put on the spot and camera in your face. You don't do that every day, so I thought he did really well. And then just seeing all the comments and how many times the story was shared, and I think it was well received, and it was a positive for Napoleon. So thank you, Joel, for thinking about doing that, and hopefully we'll have more positive things that we can call the news stations about and brag about our city. Would like one executive session to discuss personnel. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff C?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Stand and you go home.
All right. Could I have a motion to come out of executive session for personnel?
So moved.
Second.
Hey, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff C?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. No action taken. Like to add 3 pieces of legislation.
Just do one pay ordinance for appointing authorities.
Pardon me?
Just do one pay ordinance for appointing authorities.
Three.
It's traditionally been done separate.
Has it been separate? I'm sorry,
Yes.
I apologize. I thought it was
So,
all
and
one.
it is drafted that way
Then that's
already,
what we're
so
doing.
it's
My bad.
some variation.
All right.
but,
Perfect.
Okay, so we need three different motions here. So,
Well, you can have one motion to draft three separate pieces of legislation regarding pay for the appointing authorities. That would
okay.
be fine.
And we need to tell you the amounts for that now, or?
Yeah, probably should.
Yeah, 'cause okay.
What do we,
Pardon me?
what do we have to say?
The,
Make a
amounts.
motion to,
Why don't we do them separately and say maybe
Sure.
different amounts, and that
That
way
makes
it's
sense.
not, okay. Give a motion to direct the law director to or draft legislation for the finance director salary, the increase of 2.5%.
so moved.
Second.
Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff C?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. And can I have a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation for the city manager pay for salary increase of 4.5%.
So moved.
Second.
Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff C?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. And could I have a motion to direct the law director to draft legislation for the law director salary at 4.5%.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff C?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes. Okay. Moving on to item L, approve payment of bills. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the payment of bills shall stand approved. Stand approved. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Rox, please call the roll.
Jeff Bell?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Jeff C?
Yes.
Lori?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.